Whenever you are. Okay, tonight is the Village Board of Trustees meeting, Village of Depew, October 11th, 2022. A little bit late tonight, we're 7:05. Pledge of Allegiance by Jackie.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will take the invocation. So, God of justice and mercy, thank you for your gift of life and the opportunity to serve the people of our village. Help us to act with character and conviction. Help us to listen with understanding and goodwill. Help us to speak with charity and restraint. Give us a spirit of service. Remind us that we are stewards of your authority. Guide us to be the leaders your people need. Help us to see humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us and to treat all persons, no matter how weak or poor, with the reverence of your creation deserves. And finally, Father, renew us with the strength of your presence and the joy of helping to build a community worthy of the human person. We ask this as sons and daughters, confident in your goodness and love. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Tonight, notification of fire exits. Ms. Hammer.
The emergency exit is located to my left and to the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in an orderly fashion to the exit and evacuate the building.
A roll call, please.
Trustee Adolph.
Here.
Trustee Zamba. Trustee Kasevich.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick.
Here.
Mayor Peterson.
Here. First item tonight, approve the village board meeting minutes from September 26, 2022.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion to approve the Village Board meeting minutes from September 26, 2022.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next up, accept the zoning board meeting minutes from the September 22nd, 2022 meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Item 1, Alexandria Morpheus on behalf of Antoinette Sweets, Inc., for the property located at 5981 Transit Road of Chapter 260, subsection 260-26, parenthesis A, parenthesis 2, principal and accessory use/dimensional standards, minimum front yard setback, vehicle use area, requesting relief of 5 foot granted.
I'll second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Adolph.
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
Item 2, Joseph O'Brien for 5 variances for the property located at 5473 Transit Road of Chapter 260, subsection 260-24, parentheses A, parentheses 2. Maximum building coverage, requesting relief of 930 square feet, and of Chapter 260, subsection 260-24, parentheses A, parentheses 2. Minimum lot area requesting relief of 4,000 square feet, and of Chapter 260, subsection 260-24, parentheses A, parentheses 2. Minimum front yard setback requesting relief of 25 feet, and of Chapter 260, subsection 260-24, parentheses A, parentheses 2. Minimum side yard setback requesting relief 4.5 feet, and of Chapter 260, subsection 260-24, parentheses A, parentheses 2, minimum lot width requirement requesting relief of 40 feet granted.
I'll second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Adolph.
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
Carried.
Okay, tonight's agenda, and anybody in the audience can comment on the agenda items only until we get to the public concerns and comments section. So we're leading off tonight with a public hearing of community development block grant funds and where we might spend this year's $100,000 from the U.S. government on the Cheektowaga side, and a new amount this year from the consortium of Erie County on this side of the village. It's $150,000 maximum. We're going to be approving the auction results of items that were sold recently on September 21st, 2022. Permission to sign fire chief and assistant chief's residency expansion. This, to put it out there for everybody, is come from the Depew Fire Council, and the thought process is expanding where anybody that serves as an assistant chief or department chief in Depew Fire Department can reside. It's become harder and harder not only to find members in order to be part of the fire department, it's harder and harder to fill roles of assistant chief, not so much department chief, but assistant chiefs in particular. So the residency boundaries for fire chiefs and assistant fire chiefs, the new boundaries will be from the thruway to the north, Union Road to the west, William and Lawson to the south, and the Lancaster Town/Village line to the east. They will also be changing their method of doing elections. Elections will now be in December of every year instead of April. And there'll be up to 3 assistant chiefs and 1 department chief. And there are certain guidelines that they have to follow and exceed. And all members in the fire department will now be eligible to vote for assistant chiefs and the fire chief. The 2 that are currently in there, the department chief and assistant chief Musilak, are grandfathered in for the 2-year terms, or up to 2-year terms that they could possibly have, including assistant chief Musilak becoming department chief when John's term is up. And then after that, everybody will be on a 1-year term, and it can be, they could be changed out every year conceivably. The fire chief will be able to run up to a total of 5 years instead of the 2 years that they currently get. I'm disappointed that Chief Gauthier or Chief Musilak wasn't here to help explain. Approve a polling location and election information. So this year, the village mayor and 2 trustees are up for 4-year terms. And the election is March 21st, 2023, 3rd Tuesday of March. Proclaim October 31st, 2022 official trick-or-treat night in the village of Depew in conjunction with the village of Lancaster and the town of Cheektowaga. Our times are 6 to 8 p.m. as we have done in the past. Permission for Depew Fire Department to put all of their apparatus into the Depew High School motorcade. The date of that event is Friday, October 21st at noon. Portion of the route will be going outside of the village as it heads to Lancaster High School. Next up is a resolution to reject the bids for Depew Fireman's Park Pavilion. So we did put all the bells and whistles, I would say, into the bid document that we did the opening on September 22nd. The metal roof, the radiant heat, the new parking lot and such, the redoing of the small bathroom into a storage shed. The bids actually, when you get done with all 3 portions of it, the lowest bid was $2.9 million. So far exceeds the amount of money that we even received from ARPA. So our architect met with our engineer and myself. We looked at where we can make changes in order to get the project moving. And I've also reached out to other people to try and secure additional funds to assist with that. But the way the bidding process works is that you have to have that money on hand at the time the award is given. So we weren't able to do that. So we're going to go back out to bid, and there's another document in here, a resolution for that as well, and see if our architect is pretty accurate with her adjustments. Permission to sign the Lancaster Central School District Depew Police Department Liaison Officer. Whereas the village has a SRO in Depew, school systems over at the high school, middle school, and elementary school in Officer Hosfeld. Lancaster School District has come up with a program called Student Liaison Officer, LSO. And since the John A. Sholey School is in the village of Depew, in the Lancaster Central School District, they have reached out to our police force and Chief Miller to have one of the officers stop in at the school on a daily basis, is it, Chief?
That's correct. At least
Okay.
1 hour a day.
1 hour a day. And they will be compensating the village for the cost of that on a quarterly basis. Every 3 months they'll pay, right? Or is it every month?
No, it's every
Every
3 months throughout the school year.
Right. And it was at $1,000 a month, if I remember. And Chief, did you want to add anything? You said you had some officers that were interested in that?
Yeah, so we put it out for all the officers that do work day shift, and we had 3 officers inquire about it, so we're all set. We're just waiting for this document to be signed before we appoint that person.
This is actually being backdated to September. They did not get it to the village for review until late September, so that's on today. And then finally, it's authorization for the administrator to advertise for rebids for the Fireman's Park with the adjustments that were made by the architect and the engineer. Openings will be November 8th, 2022. So before we get started and actually open the public hearing for how we might spend the community development block grant money, if anybody has any comments or questions on any of these items. Chief, since you're here, I was sharing a little bit about the reasonings for the extending the residency expansion for assistant chiefs and fire chiefs.
Yep.
So I went through each of the different things. Is there anything you might want to add? I talked about, it's harder to fill those roles within the village residents.
Yeah, correct. There's so many more mandates and trainings now, and we have qualified people that live in our village, but maybe didn't take all the training courses and things like that. And that allows us to just expand that pool just a little bit to try and make sure we have good quality people to fill in that role and move up the ranks.
Okay. So if anybody has anything from 2 through 9, we had those resolutions. Please step to the front and state your name and address, and we'll answer your questions. Has to be on those ones we just did. Okay, seeing that there are none, we'll move to number 1. Yep,
A public hearing will be held on Tuesday, October 11th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the Depew Village Hall Council Chambers regarding the use of federal community development funds in the Village of Depew. The Village of Depew is eligible for a federal community development grant under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The purpose of the hearing is to provide an opportunity for citizens to express community development and housing needs and discuss possible projects which would benefit low and moderate income persons in the Village of Depew, Town of Cheektowaga, New York, and Village of Depew, Town of Lancaster, New York. Citizens are urged to attend the meeting to make known their voice, their views, and/or written proposals on the Village of Depew's selection of potential projects to be submitted for possible funding by the Federal Community Development Grant Program. The meeting room is wheelchair accessible.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion to open the public hearing at 7:21 PM.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so from the village's standpoint, the Cheektowaga side of our community development block grant request is a rather small area in which it can be used. So over the years, we've done sidewalk work in the community that's bounded by Broadway to the north, Zurbrick to the south, Transit Road to the east, and Borden Road to the west. In fact, sidewalk work from last year's money is just being done here this week. The other portion of the 100 grand that we can get from that goes and typically funds our senior center program, paying for the driver of the van, paying for the two people that run the program for the village, as well as materials throughout the year. It's generally a $50,000 split, and we get whatever we can get done as far as the sidewalks for that 50 grand on that side. Unless anybody has, and I put it out there to the trustees, have any other ideas, that's typically what the village has used the money that comes from the Cheektowaga side of the village. The Lancaster side, we're part of a 16 community consortium. I believe it's 16. The villages and towns that are on this side, basically, of Transit Road. And in years past, what we've used the money for, again, has been sidewalk work. This year, and they're doing it this week, is the sidewalks along Columbia, and then Lincoln, near the ball diamond. It was an area that was opened up in the last couple of years to be eligible for this funding. And this year, in fact, the costs were so high that we didn't get as much done on the sidewalks as we had planned and put in for. This year, the Erie County department that runs this and oversees it asked if we could increase to $150,000 per award, and that was approved. So this year we're working with up to $150,000. Our plan is to finish the work that didn't get done this year, or we'd like to have done, and then out front here on Gould, in front of the Don Polsky, the concrete work that's on the sidewalk there, and the rest of, as much as we can get done of Gould that has not been done, including what wasn't done this year. So there is some portions like by the church parking lot, there's terrible sidewalks there. And so that's what we're proposing, at least I believe we are. Unless anybody else has any other comments or questions, or our two gentlemen out there that are, okay.
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, we are, just as a public notice, we are looking to expand the area on the Cheektowaga side to include from Gould to the north to Broadway to the south. So all the houses on Lehigh or Lackawanna River, Calumet, Bellevue, all the way up to Gould might be eligible for perhaps sidewalk work there. There's a number of sidewalks that could be done, certainly around the park area as well. That is close to coming to a letter from me.
A letter is gonna come from you, and it's going to come from a contractor. It's going to be a income survey. We ask that you please take the time to fill out the income survey, get it back to the people that send it to you. That's going to determine if we can or if we can't expand that area. If we don't get those letters back,
We need what
And
percentage, like
it depends
90?
on the number. If we do all 6 streets, it's like 96% of return. So we need a very high return on the income letters. We just want to be able to get more sidewalks done for everybody in that area, when without your help, we can't do that.
So as a general rule, just so everyone knows, if you're outside of these areas, the responsibility is the homeowner's responsibility for any sidewalk work. But if you happen to live in an area that is qualified for us using these funds, we'd like to have as much opportunity to repair sidewalks as possible. Anybody on the board? We good? Okay. Jackie?
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion to close the public hearing at 7:27 PM.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Actually, we should do a roll call, I believe. Good.
Okay. Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammer?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Okay, thank you. Resolution number 2, approve the auction results.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved that the results of the Auctions International online auction ending 9/21/2022, totaling $41,267, are approved.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
So, I
Where I went supposed to go. You were being facetious?
I'd rather that we put this on the record, actually, even though the vote has gone through. If you could just list off the 7
Yep.
lots, just so.
I'll list them.
I told him he didn't have to.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
Lot 1, a 2020 Ford Explorer SUV/Police Interceptor. That was $22,000 by R. Michael Duffy. Lot 2, 2015 Ford Taurus Police Interceptor, $8,000 by Steve-O. Lot 3, 1995 Ford F-250 XL Super Duty Pickup Truck, $2,250 by Jim Peck Farms LLC. Lot 4, 1995 Ford F-350 Dump Truck, $5,700 by Move Dirt. Lot 5, Engine Whirlwind Street Sweeper Parts, $32 from That Guy. Lot 6, John Deere 4.5 liter 4-cylinder diesel engine, $3,150 by John F. 888. And Lot 7, Square D 3PH General Purpose Transformer, $135 by A0218F1991P.
Thanks. It's just nice to get it on.
No, that's fine.
I mean, we've been using the auction, Ken.
No, it's okay.
And Kevin have been searching for different things for the village. The auction site has been successful for the village, not only selling it, but actually buying, so we've gotten good results. Okay. Resolution number 3, permission to sign Fire Chief and Assistant Chief's residency expansion.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas the Depew Fire Department is asking permission to expand the residency boundaries for the fire chiefs and assistant fire chiefs for the fire chiefs and assistant fire chiefs elections. The new boundaries will be the Thruway to the north, Union Road to the west, William Lawson to the south, and the Lancaster Town Village line to the east. This will allow for any interested person to run for Depew Fire Department chief and assistant fire chiefs in the elections. Now therefore be it resolved that permission is hereby granted to the Depew Fire Department to expand the boundaries as listed above.
I second the motion.
Roll call?
Trustee Adolf?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hamernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution number 4, approve polling location and election information.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas the Village of Depew will have 4 election districts, 1 through 4, covering the entire Village of Depew, and the districts will be split up amongst the alphabet, registered voters' last names. Be it resolved, all voting for the village election will be at the Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, in the Senior Center. Polls will be open from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. The village administrator will send a certified copy of the resolution to the Board of Elections and post the notice in the Depew Bee. And whereas a general village election for the Village of Depew will be held on Tuesday, March 21st, 2023, for the following offices: Village Mayor, 4-year term; Village Trustee, 4-year term; Village Trustee, 4-year term. Therefore, be it further resolved that the village administrator is hereby authorized to publish in the official paper for the Village of Depew a listing of the offices to be filled by March 21st, 2023 general village election. And whereas in the past years, the residents of the Village of Depew must register with the Board of Elections to be able to vote in the Village of Depew election. Therefore, be it further resolved that the village will not be holding a village registration day. However, residents may register with the Erie County Board of Elections.
I'll second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Adolf?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hamernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution 5, proclaim October 31st, 2022 as official trick-or-treat village day.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the official trick-or-treat night in the Village of Depew, in conjunction with the town and the Village of Lancaster and the town of Cheektowaga, is hereby designated as Monday, October 31st, 2022, between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. Resolution 6, permission for the Depew Fire Department to participate in the Depew High School motorcade.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Permission is hereby granted to the Depew Fire Department to put all of the fire trucks in the Depew High School motorcade. The date of the event will be Friday, October 21st, 2022 at 12 p.m. A portion of the route will go outside of the village.
I second the motion.
A roll call vote, please?
Trustee Adolf?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hamernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution 7, reject the bids for the Depew Fire Department, for the Depew Fireman's Park Pavilion.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas there was a bid opening at Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street on September 15, 2022 at 10 a.m. in the council chambers for the Depew Fireman's Park Pavilion. Whereas the bids were due by September 15, 2022 at 10 a.m. for 3 contracts entitled General-GC 2020 1M Plumbing-PC/MC and Electrical-EC. Whereas the village board has determined that the bid submitted was over the budget allocated for this project. And whereas the Village of Depew reserves the right to reject any and all bids, proposals as not being in the best interest of the village. Now therefore, be it resolved that based upon the review and assessment of the bids provided by D. Donato, that the Village of Depew hereby rejects the bids for the Depew Fireman's Park Pavilion as not being in the best interest of the village.
I second that motion.
And just so we're totally clear, is on September 22nd that the bids were actually opened. The original date was the 15th, but it was pushed back to the 22nd. Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution number 8, permission to sign Lancaster Central School District Depew Police Department Liaison Officer.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, Mayor Kevin Peterson is authorized to sign the agreement between the Village of Depew and the Lancaster Central School District, 177 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, 14086, to provide enhanced safety and security at the district's John Sholey Elementary School, 86 Alice Drive East, Depew, New York, 14043. Increasing community engagement and creating increased police presence on the Johnny Sholey grounds and within the Johnny Sholey facilities.
I'll second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution 9, authorize administrator to advertise for rebids of the Fireman's Park Pavilion.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the village administrator is hereby authorized to advertise for rebids for the general contractor, the electrical contractor, and the combined plumbing and mechanical contracts for the Fireman's Park Pavilion project. The rebid openings will take place on November 8th, 2022.
I second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Item 10, department head reports.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion to approve the department head reports as presented. Police September 2022 and Building September 2022.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. There was no employment applications taken in the last couple of weeks. There's no unfinished or other business. And before we get to public concerns and comments, we'll go around the room so we can talk to the department heads. Start on this side. DPW Superintendent Ken Pick.
One thing I forgot at the pre-board meeting is we addressed the parking issues on Barnabas, on the Bend, and at Mooney's. At Mooney's, we put the sign up, and next day it was gone.
What?
Yeah, so we talked to the captains, and they visited the establishment, and we replaced another sign there, so.
And the one on Barnabas is down by the Kentucky
The
Fried
Bend by
Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay.
So, that's pretty much all I have. Just we start picking up leaves already, so.
And how are you picking up those leaves?
One with the sweeper that we bought.
There we go.
And
From where? Auctions.
Auctions International.
Yes.
So it was out, started, today was the first day we had it out working, so.
Okay.
So everything's working good.
Very good. On this side, Kevin Ferguson, our Recreation Director.
Just to let you know, we have the rink is in full swing right now. We have high school hockey starting in the second week in November. Our public skate is coming up. Learning skate lessons are also coming up too. Besides that, everything, the rink should be in full gear, next month early. So it should be good. That's all I have.
Okay. Fire Chief, John Gothier.
Not much this meeting, just we had 11 calls so far in the month of October. Year-to-date, 262. Late because we did have smoke in a basement, that's why I was late here. So. Everything was good, though.
Today was a busy day though, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit busy.
Yeah. On this side, we have Chief Jerry Miller from our Police Department.
Thank you. Monthly report, we had a total of 1,021 complaints for the month, 9,500 for the year. 921 non-criminal complaints for the month and 100 criminal complaints. We had 3 stolen motor vehicles and recovered 1. We had 28 motor vehicle accidents, 25 were property damage only, and 3 injury accidents. We had 35 arrests, 25 males, 10 females. We issued 220 traffic summonses for the month. Just a reminder, now that it's darker in the morning and school is back in session, keep an eye out for the kids in the roadway. And remember to stop and don't pass school buses. That's all I got.
Okay. From our building department, we have Don Bellafield Jr. and Kate Zaganachek.
Getting better. Not too much to report, as we discussed in the pre-board. I think we're getting pretty close with the demolition letters we've been working on to come up with a comprehensive plan that we follow for each of the buildings that that we need to address in the village here. So right now it's with legal. Hopefully he can critique it, get it back to me, and we can implement getting some of these structures down that we need to take care of. Other than that, I'd just say, I know it's getting later in the season, and I've just asked residents to keep maintaining their properties, get your grass cut maybe for the last time, rake up your leaves, get your property in shape for winter. There's a lot of wind-blown debris. I noticed today driving all over, from the recycles and stuff like that blowing around. Just try to get your yards picked up, please. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay. Legal, Sam Alba.
So it's been a very busy couple of weeks thanks to a couple red flag applications filed by the police department, a few contracts coming through, and then a lot of back and forth on this plan to put in a solar field in the village of Depew, which I expect to have on the agenda at the next board meeting. That's it for me.
Okay. And short one, Trustee Kasevich.
Nothing for me. The only thing I wanted to say is happy early birthday to Trustee Ziemba, who is not here, so if you're watching Zoom.
Happy birthday.
Trustee Adolph.
Nothing much from me.
Okay. Nothing at all from you.
No, we're good.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Hammonick.
Well, I have something.
Okay.
This Saturday, we served 186 families with our food truck that comes to the village the second Saturday of every month. It is really getting critical out there for families that are in dire need of food. Tri-Community Food Pantry, we serve 369 families a month. Those are our local residents. There will be no more food trucks now till January. So, thank you.
And did you spend the $31,000 big check we gave you?
I just want to say thank you for that. Yes, we did. The roof is on over the laundromat that's going in, and the back part of the portion of the building will be held up. Pardon?
Repaired.
Repaired, yes. So,
Okay.
thank you. Couldn't have done it without your assistance. Thank you.
So we don't have our normal Elizabeth Brinkworth or Bob Brandon. I know we're going into executive session tonight. Audrey, if you could just put out there for Bob Brandon's wife.
I just want to make sure everyone says a prayer for recovery of Camille Brandon, which is Bob's wife. She just had open heart surgery.
Okay, so we'll be doing that. Most people won't be here afterwards. All right. Questions for any of us or any other topic you might have? Audrey, I'm sorry. Audrey, did you have anything from OEM since you're sitting back there?
Yeah, I know, I'm sitting in the corner, it's okay. Just really two things. Both Galen and myself have signed up and enrolled for the drone pilot's license. We started the classes, and we met with SRO Hosfeld last week, and we're starting to write the action plan for the Depew Lancaster game. So we'll be working with the police departments, both Lancaster and Depew. So we're rocking that out.
And as a reminder, you have also made available COVID test kits and Narcan
Yes.
boxes, right? Here at Village Hall, anytime that Village Hall is open. Okay. I'm sorry, gentlemen.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Wolchuk.
Come on right up, John.
I live at 75 Liberty Street.
75 Liberty.
That's in Depew. I was just here because of Warsaw Street. They have parking, no parking on one side. Winona, I mean. Is it Winona? Yeah, sorry. Winona Street. They started parking cars when MREL started his business, and it seems like that's causing problems over there with the traffic. I know you guys put up no parking signs on one side, and my neighbors were supposed to be here because the one guy, Matthew Green? Yeah, Matt Green. He's complaining because he can't park in front of his house now after 20 years. You know, when I worked for Marzak, the village made him find parking for his workers, and I think that's what Emerald should be doing, not parking on the street. I know it's good for the village to have business, but, you know, when you got business, you should have places for your employees to park.
So the fellow we're talking about is the fellow that was here at the last meeting, I think?
Yes.
Couple
Okay.
meetings ago.
Yeah, a couple of
Okay.
Meetings ago.
So,
Yeah, he was supposed to be here today, and he never showed.
I had a final question for him before he got done, and I asked him, so you want us to pull off all the no parking signs?
Yeah, well, I think what should be done is tell the company they should find a place for those employees to park. You know, I could see for a couple hours, but they park there. I leave for work at 6 o'clock. They're already starting to park there. And they go from Broadway all the way to Short Street and some days. And I know in the wintertime, it's going to be a son of a gun again. The snowplow only could push so far back, you know?
Well, and Ken, you did some research on that after he was here.
Well, the guy that was here, or whatever his name is,
Matt.
he said that he parked his car across the street from.
Jimmy Petruska's house, which
Right,
doesn't have...
he parked, and he said he had 13 feet.
Yeah,
Well, I parked my truck across from each other,
yeah.
and I had 7 feet. So even if you pulled all the no parking signs off, and if somebody parked across and across, you're not getting a fire truck down, you're not getting.
Well, that was always an issue there, yes.
Right, you're
Yeah.
not getting any of the plow trucks down.
And that's one of the reasons I'm saying to you guys, I think you guys should ask the guy to find places for his employees to park. They shouldn't be parking there, because like you said, you get 2 cars on each side, now you can't get a fire truck through there.
So you're
You
lucky
have-
to get a car through there.
Yeah,
Do you have a solution?
have been,
Yeah, but what kind of places do you know of there?
John, across the street, John, what's his last?
I don't know his last name.
Yeah, he has, on the side, he has some parking. Magruder's has that back lot on the opposite side where King's Muffler Place is. I think he owns some of that in the back. Maybe they could rent out from there.
Did he wind up selling it? Because I remember him coming,
He sold that.
Oh, he did sell
he
it.
did sell it,
Yeah.
right? So somebody else owns
That's
it
where that
other
whole
than Matt,
project-
right?
right.
Yeah.
I know across the street from where the old cleaners used to be, where Dr. Aquino was, that building was for sale at one time. He could have bought that and made that his parking lot too. I mean, he's going to have to look for something. Marzek had to.
What right does the village have to impose that upon a business?
We really can't.
You can't,
We can't tell
You can't tell.
a business they can't park on a public street. We can
Even if
restrict
it-
parking lots and other things like that through zoning and planning and other enforcement mechanisms, but, a public street is kind of outside of our jurisdiction.
even though it hinders if there's a emergency or something in that neighborhood?
Well, yeah, so, if there's a fire hazard and the trucks can't get through, that's something we need to revisit, right, chief?
What is that zone? Do you recall, Don?
Why we have
I believe it's R1 over there. Yeah, I'm confused on one issue. Okay, we have no parking on the.
East side.
On the east side of the street. And the parking is being on the west side.
On the west side, right?
And what problem are those cars parked in the business causing the neighborhood? I don't understand that part.
Well, I'm here because Matt was complaining that he wanted to park in front of his house.
Okay, does he live on the east side or the west side?
He lives on the east side,
All right, and there's no parking.
and there's no parking on that side, so.
So if we
It
took all the
wouldn't have mattered,
things off,
it wouldn't have mattered, I mean, because there's no parking on that side, because that's usually, is that the fire hydrant side? Is that why we
The
put?
fire hydrant sign.
Yeah, so we don't park on that side for that reason. And that's in all the streets, that we have no parking. So even if we tell them not to park there, it doesn't change the problem, because you still can't have two-car parking, or
Yeah,
two-side parking. So I understand people don't like them using that space, but it is, their property line is not really blocking any houses right there. So I don't see the issue.
but definitely from a legal standpoint, there's nothing,
We can't tell a business that their employees can't park on a public street. There would just be, I mean, we could say it, there would be no way to enforce it.
okay.
You know, chief, you can't write a ticket for someone legally parked on the street because of where they work, can you?
I cannot.
This is, we've had an issue with this on Buffalo Man Fell on Walden.
Okay.
They all park in the 400 section across the street,
Yeah.
Tyler Road for Brewster. This has been going on for 30 years that I've been there. So like, we even have to change our plow routes to get there before all their employees plow. Like, that's the first section we'll go to make sure it's clear before their employees start parking there. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
it's just a
Well,
bad
I understand.
situation.
I've been there all my life. I know.
so how long ago did we change the parking on something?
A month, 2 months?
Yeah.
Wasn't that long, right?
No, no.
Yeah, and thank you for paving that corner for that lady in front. Mrs. Monin, she was so happy, because every time the plow came by, it dug up that dirt, man. It's cleaner now. It looks nicer.
It's tough when there's no curbs
Yeah.
and, you know, you're trying to use the street as a parking as well. I think we've looked at this every which way, over the 3 times that somebody's been here for that. And
Yeah, I
that's
thought
why-
he was gonna be here today, but you know.
That's why I asked him before he left there. So let me see if I understand this. You'd rather that there be no signs up.
Yeah,
And I
that's,
think that becomes the problem then, as Ken points out, that if everybody did park both sides of the street, we'd never get a fire
yeah.
truck done.
I don't think they ever did anyways, to be honest with you. The only time when he came home, but he went far enough out,
Yeah, but there's,
off the street, so.
you know, and so there's even getting a plow truck through there, you know, and
Why?
he mentioned, he goes, well, you can't park there at night. I said, well, we've also plowed during the day,
Yeah.
and you can't get a truck down there, you can't get a fire truck down there. Said I parked my truck at the first house behind the old Dennis, or behind the old.
Yeah,
So I
that's,
parked my
yeah,
truck right on the grass line,
Wesley's house, yeah.
and I had 7 feet between my truck and the vehicle that was parked right next to the sidewalk, which is actually on the on the bumper of the road, kind of.
Right.
So at 7 feet, you're not getting much through there.
I
Okay.
know we've addressed this pretty much over the last year and a half with a lot of village streets that are very narrow. And we've tried to be pretty consistent as to how we do it, so.
Yeah. It's really a public safety issue. We can't get the fire trucks, can't get the police cars down there, ambulances. You have to have those streets clear, and
Well-
the streets are so narrow, you can't do that, a double-sided parking.
So Audrey, I know that you have a bit of a business relationship with Emerald. What if we were just to write a letter, knowing that we can't, but if we could suggest that they might look at that? I mean, that's really about all we can do. So we'll craft a letter
Yeah,
to the owners of Emerald Heat and Cooling and express some of the concerns. They may not watch this on replay or anything like that. And, but there's just nothing that we can legally do. But
Yeah.
I think that might be the only possible way that they may want to consider looking for.
All right.
All right?
well, thank you for your time. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Sir? All right. In case there was a large crowd here that didn't. All right. We're going to do claims and accounts, and then we have to go into executive session.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, the claims and accounts have been audited by the Finance Committee and are approved for payment as follows.
In the general fund, $169,631.92. In the sewer fund, a whopping $2. And capital is $14,648.50.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Resolution 15, executive session.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion that we move into executive session at 7:55.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. We'll be back as soon as we can. Okay, we're back from our executive session. Deputy Mayor?
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion to close the executive session where no decision was made on a personnel matter.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah,
Opposed?
yeah,
Oh,
No.
at
I was just like,
9:41.
Oh, sorry.
yep,
thank you, 9:41.
perfect.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. And the adjournment, Deputy Mayor.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion to adjourn the meeting with a prayer for the recovery of Camille Brandon, Bob's wife, who had open heart surgery.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And 9:42.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have a great night.